Good morning. Welcome to Blissful Monkey. It's another wonderful, beautiful day here in May. So we'll do a sunny, happy flow this morning. So enjoy and thanks for joining. We'll start in a comfortable seat. Resting the hands comfortably in your lap. Just begin to close the eyes and settle in to the moment. Feeling the air on your skin, hearing the sound of your breath, the smell of the air, the sensation of touch and connection between the earth and your body. And the cloying darkness behind the eyelids. Just begin to interlace your fingers. Place the backs of your hands underneath your chin. And as you inhale, lift the elbows, lift the chin, lift the chest. And as you exhale, tuck the chin, the elbows draw towards each other. Maybe a little rounding through the spine. Moving with the flow of your breath, expanding your wings on your inhale. Curling inward on your exhale. Feeling the chest and the rib cage open, and also the back body open as you exhale and create space by rounding through the spine. A few more cycles here. And after your next exhale, the hands will meet in heart center. Big breath in, big breath out. Setting an intention for your practice. We're probably all feeling a little bit more complacent and at ease with this new at-home routine, but it also might mean that habits we formed in the beginning might be wavering. And so wherever you are today, renew your vow. Connect this renewal of vow with your intention, but somehow find that balance of being free from expectation, so that there's flexibility to explore your practice, especially over the next few days. One more big breath in and out. We'll take seated half pigeon. So just begin to cradle and hug the right leg into your arms. You can find a figure 4 variation like Terri. She might extend her leg long and just begin to cradle and rock that leg like a baby, just opening through the hip, staying strong through that right ankle. The breath continues to flow. And wherever you are, find stillness for 3 cycles of breath. The right foot will plant to the outside edge of your left thigh. So if your left knee is bent, extend your left leg long and take a twist. Inhale, the left arm lifts. Exhale, twist to the right. Each time you inhale, find length in your spine. And on your exhale, find a gentle surrendering into the twist. One more inhale. And as you exhale, unwind. And just begin to switch sides. Starting out in figure 4 with the left leg, evolving that into your seated half pigeon. Honoring the difference in the body, side to side. Finding stillness here. The left foot plants outside of right thigh. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, find your twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften in. One more inhale. Exhale, unwind through center, soles of feet touching, starfish pose. So on Terri's next inhale, she'll come up with a little bit more of a flat back, come up out of her hip creases, and as you forward fold, soften into the pose. Channeling your breath into the hips. Not only are we probably sitting more or differently than we're used to, we also hold a lot of emotion in our hips. So give yourself the time and space to free up that space, to move the energy. The next inhale is through the back body. Exhale out through the chest. Inhale through the back. Exhale through the chest. As you inhale, roll on up. Cross your ankles. And just begin to find your tabletop pose. Tuning in intuitively and just finding movement, stillness, connect with your breath. And with the toes curled under, you'll begin to rock onto the balls of your feet. The toes will be turned out slightly, the heels will be touching, and just find a forward fold here. The butt is heavy towards the back of your mat. The fingers and head reach towards the front. And start to find a subtle engagement through the bandhas to begin to support more significant movement. You might like to walk your hands a little bit to the right. Take a couple of breaths here. And then you might move through center and over to the left, but we'll be here for a few more. Inhale, exhale, find your downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Belly is reaching in and up. Hips are high. Inhale, lift the right leg, bend the knee, peel open your hip. Be free in this pose. Experience the sensation. Release the right foot to the earth. Inhale, left leg lifts, bend the knee, peel open the hip. The left foot will step between the hands. We'll spin to the long edge of our mat. Toes in, heels out, forward fold. Feel your breath traveling up and down your spine. Up and down your legs, rooting your feet into the earth. Begin to bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale to flat back. Just turn your right toes out a little bit and bend into your right knee, lifting your left toes towards the ceiling. You can take your hands to your heart, find more of an opening. Breathe here. Your next inhale will bring you through center and over to the other side. Moving with the singular flow of your breath. You can use your hands or not, but on the inhale, you move through the center. The exhale, you settle in. About 3 or 4 to 5 cycles on each side. When the legs feel a little bit more warm and you feel ready, we'll meet in a wide-legged forward fold. Any variation here. If you're ready to go upside down in your practice, it's always available to you. Another inhale and exhale. Heel toe the feet a little closer, toes turn out, heels turn in, goddess pose. Tailbone is heavy, shorten through the tummy. Breathe here. Start to move a little bit with your breath. As you inhale, you stand up a little taller, and as you exhale, you sink a little deeper. Choose the range of motion that makes sense for you. And then hold your goddess. Maybe you come onto your tippy toes and lift your heels off the mat. That drishti is strong. Core engagement is strong. If the heels have lifted, slowly lower them to the floor. Spin to the front of your mat and step the right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up to standing. We'll take a side bend to the right. Breathe into that space. Your next inhale will bring you through center. Exhale in the other direction. Inhale through center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, find buoyancy away from the earth. Shift your shoulders forward. Drop knees or not. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, step or hop the feet to hands. Flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up to stand. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale, buoyancy, shift shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, look forward, feet to hands, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale, buoyancy, shift shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, feet to hands, flat back. Exhale, forward fold of choice. Pause here. Lift your belly in and up. Shake it out. Smile, relax that jaw. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, step the left foot back. Plant left hand, inhale right for a twist. Light through the right foot as you transition to side plank. You can always support yourself with your left knee on the earth. Wherever you are, our hips are lifting high, they're stacked, the shoulders are stacked. As you inhale, draw your right knee to your nose, step the right foot next to the left hand. Inhale, high lunge. As you exhale, left hand reaches forward, right arm reaches back for a twist. Keep drawing up through your navel. Scissoring the legs, activating them equally. With this reach, with this length, the left hand comes back to the floor for a twist. Exhale, plant right hand without dragging the right foot. See if you can find that buoyancy we found in our plank and step back to plank. Beautiful. Your exhale lowers you down to the earth. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Right hand plants. Inhale, left arm for a twist. Lightness through the left foot. Transition, side plank. Finding the side plank that supports you. Hips are lifting, hips are buoyant. Your inhale draws your left knee to your nose. Step it forward, high lunge on the inhale. Exhale, twist it out, right hand forward, left hand back. Create space through the rib cage. Your next exhale, right hand to floor for a twist. Keep those hips buoyant. Keep the belly lifting. Exhale, left hand to floor without dragging. Step back to plank. Beautiful, Terri. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Another big breath in. And out. Look forward, feet to the outside edge of the hands, Malasana. Extend the right arm long, inhale left for a twist. Hook that right tricep to the inner right knee. You might find a half bind, a full bind, no bind. You choose. But wherever you are, keep the length in the spine. Create that space for your breath. Inhale through center, and as you exhale, find your twist. Left arm extends, inhale, right arm lifts. Lots of options. Breathe here. Awareness of your mind, of the thoughts, giving your thoughts permission to mute themselves. Come back to your intention, come back to center. Stay here for 3 to 5 breaths, otherwise you can find your crow and hold. Just like we found the buoyancy in our transitions and our planks, there's buoyancy here in your crow. You can see that Terri's pressing up through her back body. Her navel is lifting. If you found your crow, see if you can hold for 1 more cycle of breath, and then we'll all begin our transition and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, keep the hips square. Press into an imaginary wall behind you. Feel your tummy lift. Find that buoyancy as you inhale, right knee to nose, step the right foot between the hands, warrior two. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. We'll all start with our arm on our thigh. Beautiful. Find length through both rib sides. And then maybe that right hand slides down the inside of the right shin. But there's not a lot of pressure on that right hand. We're zipping up through our midline. Now see if you can keep this length, this connection in your ribs, and begin to straighten out your right leg for triangle pose. There might be a slight adjustment of feet. That left heel is lower than your toes. Beautiful. Your drishti shifts forward to the floor and you find Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Beautiful. That left hand can stay on your hip for just a moment. See if you can stack left shoulder on top of right, left hip on top of right. This is where you are. You might be ready for a quad stretch. Helpful hint to find that left foot. You might have to bend your right knee. Somehow it magically brings that foot into your hand. And then you would lengthen back through your standing leg. Knit your ribs in, belly in. Be ready for this transition. Press through the sole of the right foot as you inhale to stand. Hug your left knee into your chest. Woo! Maybe take your hands to your hips, and without using your hands, take a couple hip circles. Beautiful. Switch direction. And then we'll find standing figure four. And really sit into that right leg. Find chair pose through the right leg. You might find a variation where you forward fold here in your figure four. Maybe it feels plenty to just be hands at heart center, shoulders over hips. Terri showing a forward fold variation. And now here's the thing. Can she drop her head and shift her drishti behind her? Beautiful. Sometimes it's an amazing way to create variation in your practice, is simply changing the direction in which you look. Two more breaths in and out. Release into forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, find your way to your down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts. Keep the hips square. Press into the wall behind you. Your next inhale, left knee to nose. Find that buoyancy. Step your left foot between your hands. Warrior two. Flip your palm, reverse your warrior. Beautiful. You can see that Terri is drawing her left kneecap towards the wall in front of her to stay true in her warrior two legs. Inhale, warrior two. Lengthen the side waist Exhale, side angle. Pause here for just a moment. Now you might slide that left arm inside the left leg. Beautiful. And you'll begin to straighten out through your left leg. See if you can keep this distance in your side waist as you find your triangle pose. And you can see that Terri has a slight bend in her left knee so that she can find that balance between engaging her muscles and her flexibility. It's always a sweet marriage between the two. That drishti begins to shift forward as we find half moon. Stacking shoulders, stacking hips. Maybe a quad stretch. Keep the ribs knit. Length through the low back. There is a little back bend happening here, but let's really emphasize that quad stretch if you're taking it. And then on your next inhale, you're gonna hug that right knee into your chest. The hands can come to your hips and you can take some hip circles. Switch direction. And then find your standing figure 4. Sit on down into that chair with the left leg, moving through phase by phase as you experiment and find the place where you can just be for a few rounds of breath. Maybe change the drishti. Beautiful. One more inhale. And exhale, release to forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Come back to your intention. Come back to the renewal of your vows, your commitments to yourself. See if you can keep your eyes closed. Of course, maybe you slightly open them to find a small point of focus. Ground down through the right foot. Take your hands to your hips to start. And see if you can find tree pose without using your hands. So as long as the foot isn't pressing into the knee joint, find that comfortable spot. And then if you really say, but I want my foot a little higher, or maybe my hips are ready for half lotus pose, that's how you can find your tree pose today. Terri's demonstrating half lotus with a bind. Her left arm is reaching behind her back for her left foot. And if you are taking half lotus, it's really easy to compromise your ankle to make that half lotus work. So stay strong through that ankle. Nestle the foot right up into your hip crease. Wherever you are, breathe. Three more cycles of breath. We'll meet in Tadasana. Shake it out. Big breath in and out. Again, that very subtle and gentle drishti, either within or slightly out in front of you. Ground down through the left foot, hands to hips. Find tree pose without your hands. Then, of course, you might give your leg a little help to find the expression of the pose you would like. Zipping up through your center. Three or so more cycles of breath here. And we'll meet in Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the left foot back, low runner's lunge. Take the hands inside the right foot. Heel toe that right foot out just a little bit. And then walk your hands a little farther forward to create length in the spine. Keep that buoyancy. Ground down to the sole of the right foot. Activate through the ball of the left. And then with this length, maybe you can come on to your forearms. Maybe not. That back knee is off the floor if that's possible this morning. Just so we can create a little bit more heat, build a little bit more strength. You might stay here. You might begin to walk the right shoulder underneath the right knee. Sometimes you might have to come back up onto your hands to do it. Sometimes it might be easier to drop that left knee. But the hips staying buoyant is an essential part of this variation. You might stay here for a few more cycles of breath. If you know the arm balance, you can plant your hands, super glue the back of your right leg to the back of your right arm, extend your right leg long, hook your left elbow in, squeeze your back, squeeze your butt, lift that left leg nice and high. Maybe you find a transition through. And we'll all begin our transition to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, bend the knee, peel open the hip, maybe flip your dog. Open through the chest wherever you are. Breathe here. We'll all meet with the right foot stepping back forward. Heel toe the right foot out a little bit. And now begin to take your right hand to your inner right thigh for a twist. Stay off of the knee joint. You can always drop your back knee. Beautiful. See if you can activate the arch of your right foot towards the earth, even if it's not touching. You might like to stay in this twist or bring hands or forearms to floor and rock onto the outside edge of your right foot. Breathing into your hip crease, into your space that you're creating. Remember, we're letting go. We're shedding any of the junk we might be storing in our hips. We're creating space for that which serves us so we can serve others, like compassion and empathy and kindness. We'll meet in Malasana prayer squat. So we'll curl those left toes under and step that left foot to the outside edge of our mat. This is where you might stay. Again, you might find crow. You might find crow to tripod. But wherever you go, we're going to meet back in our Malasana prayer squat. If you're finding that crow to tripod, there's that buoyancy that remains to create that transition, especially when it comes to lifting our head back up off the floor. So if you've come into your tripod, begin to slowly bring your knees to the backs of your arms as high to the armpits as you can. Press through your hands, find that buoyancy, lift your head. Beautiful, and we'll meet in Malasana. Glorious. Big breath in and out. Plant your hands, lift your hips forward, fold. Maybe you turn your palms up and walk your hands underneath your feet to release your wrists. Shake your head out, yes. Shake it out, no. Releasing the hands. Inhale, flat back. And as you exhale, right foot steps back. Hands inside left foot. Create space by heel-toeing that left foot out. Staying here, staying buoyant. Walk the hands a little farther forward. Beautiful. Create space. This is where you might stay, or with the length, you might find your forearms. You might begin to hug that left shoulder underneath your left knee. Find that yoga super glue. Coming onto your hands or back onto your forearms. Again, the hips need to stay buoyant. There's an uplift of energy. You might stay here, or you might begin to find the arm balance. If you know it, you plant the hands, you extend the left leg, you hook right elbow, you squeeze your back body, you lift that right leg. And eventually, we'll all meet in our downward facing dog. Once you arrive, big breath in, big breath out. Inhale, lift your left leg, bend the knee, peel open the hip. Maybe you flip your dog. Wherever you are, keep expanding through your chest. And we'll step that left foot back to the top of our mat, hands inside. Beautiful. Drop onto your back knee if you'd like. The left hand comes to the inner left thigh for a twist. Activate the arch of your left foot towards the earth. And press the hips more forward than just letting them collapse down. Find that energetic lift up and then forward. Beautiful. You might stay here, or you might like to bring your hands back to the inside of that left foot, maybe your forearms, and you can rock onto the outside edge of that right foot. Just like we talked about in half lotus, keep that ankle strong. This is an opening through the hip. It's easy to let the ankle compromise and take the brunt of the action. Breathing in and out of your hip space. Continuing to declutter. One more big breath in and out. We'll meet in our Malasana prayer squat. In the next 8 or so cycles of breath, maybe 10, we'll all meet in our downward facing dog. And so you can take any variation, any flow, any series of events you might like. So this, if we were in a regular studio class, this might be a point where we become distracted because students are doing things different than us. And so again, come back into your body, into your mind, and move in a way in which you're called to do so. Letting go of any comparing and contrasting. In the next 3 or so cycles of breath, we'll meet in our downward facing dog. And we're going to begin to find our seat. So you might simply drop onto the knees. You might see if you can practice a jump through your hands. Terry's going to try something else. However you'd like to meet on your seat, we'll be there in a couple of breaths. When you arrive on your seat, just extend your legs long. Ooh, nice, Terry. Shake it out. Big breath in and out. Keeping the right leg extended. We'll find a Janu Shirshasana variation. So that might be bringing the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh, maybe a half lotus. Again, remember strong integrity through the ankle. If you have a pillow at home, you might like to place it under your left knee. Do you want knee support? Okay. Yep. Thank you, Vanna. So wherever you are, settle in. Your heart rate is slowing. A renewed awareness and connection with your breath is reforming. And that right leg is long. It's activated just like if we were standing on it. The next inhale, we'll begin to bring our shoulders over our hips. And we have two options. We can find fire log legs, which will bring the right leg underneath the left, stacking the shins equally. Again, that pillow might come under your left knee. Or again, you might take half lotus with that left leg, bringing the foot into your right hip crease. You might take full lotus. You can find a forward fold, you can stay upright, you can plant your hands, lift your hips off the floor. You could find reverse plank in your lotus legs. Lots of ways to be creative as we wind our practice down. Yeah. Yeah, Terry's demonstrating a little reverse plank and lotus legs. Beautiful. You can also do that in half lotus, of course. If you forward folded, begin to walk your hands up. And then just unwind the legs. Shake them out. And we'll transition to our Janu Shirshasana variation with the left leg extended. You can bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. Maybe you find that half lotus. And we'll all find a forward folding variation. Your next inhale, the shoulders come up over the hips. And transition to a fire log variation, which Terri is demonstrating. The right shin is stacked on top of left. You might find a half lotus with the right foot into the left hip crease, or maybe a full lotus variation. Again, your choice. Stay upright, take more of a back bend, a forward fold, maybe some side twisting, side bending. Terry's pressing through her hands, lifting her hips off the floor. Again, there's that buoyancy we've been working on all of class. There's that lifting, that expanding of the back, that lifting in and up of the tummy. Yeah, ooh, working on that strength, up and down. Woo! And we're done. Almost. Begin to wind the shoulders back up if you forward folded. Extend the legs long, shake them out. And just before we find our back body, we'll have just a little bit of fun. So without using your hands, you can find fire log legs on your preferred side. You could find half lotus. You could find full lotus, but no hands allowed. And we've got a full lotus here, folks. Woo! Gotta wiggle and wiggle. And then, of course, without using your hands, maybe we stay here a little longer if you want to press back up. Okay. She's good. All right, without using our hands, let's unwind. And then wherever you are, see if you can try that on your least preferred side. So now the opposite leg is on top. Yeah. So that might be fire log legs, half lotus or full lotus. We all have that dominant side we like. So, equality from right to left. And we eventually unwind. We meet on our back. We take a beautiful full body stretch. Oh, yeah, sigh, grunt. You've earned it. One more big breath in and out. Hug the knees into the chest. Maybe rock forward and backwards a little bit, maybe a little side to side. And then find a knee down twist of your choice. Feel the breath traveling up and down the spine, infiltrating any last holding on spots of stagnation or tightness, unkinking any final kinks in the system so that your energy and breath can flow without obstruction. You'll come through center and find a knee down twist in the opposite direction. And ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at our Shavasana. So just begin to extend the legs long. On behalf of Terri and myself and Blissful Monkey, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you're doing well and healthy. And as you settle into your Shavasana, just recall your intention into your root center, your belly center, your heart center, your throat center, and your third eye center. Tuning into the air around you, the feel of the movement of air, the smell of the air, the sound of your breath, the connection with the earth, the darkness behind the eyelids. Awareness of breath. Awareness of the air around you, the support of the earth underneath you. The serenity and quiet within the mind and body. Expand your awareness beyond the edges of your skin, tuning into your entire energetic being. The holistic composition of who you are and how you show up in the world. You can roll on to your side for fetal pose. And just as we're experiencing new blooms and new growth with spring and summer on its way, as you arrive in your seat, acknowledge that there is a subtle rebirth and growth here manifesting from your practice. Inviting hands to heart center. Awareness of the space you've created, the capacity you've created for more compassion for self, for others, those close to you, those who are neutral to you, those who may be your enemy, and ultimately generating the capacity for more compassion for all sentient beings. Hands to your third eye. Namaste.